Welcome back to the channel. Got a special guest star, C10 Curt, and today we're sponsored by Apple Juice
and soda.
Hell yeah. So, today we're going through crimp connections. The good, the bad, the ugly. And we're going to go through install, speed, and ease. How easy are they to put together? Can you do it in tight spots, or do you have to do it on the bench? Do you need special tools or stuff you got laying around? Are they cheap? Or are they expensive per connector? And how much water resistance do we got in these things? And lastly, and most important to us guys that are having to fix this all the time, is it reliable? So we're going to go through the list and give you the good, the bad, the ugly. And this isn't everything, but this is indicative of sort of the general different versions of crimps that there are. So I'm going to have Curt start out with
Twist and tape.
Twist and tape.
Twist and tape. It is a very fast install speed. It's quick, easy, and dirty. And it'll get you for testing, but it's not very reliable.
Yeah, if you need to get yourself home and you're in a tight jam, do it. But
twist and tape.
Not reliable. These things come apart all the time. There's no guarantee it's going to stay together. And in general, if you got other options, use them. Next, wire nuts. These go in your house, not in your car. Again, this one here, yeah, it's easy. It's cheap. And you don't need any special tools other than a set of strippers. But
they'll get you home.
They'll get you home. That's about it. So if you've got other options as well, I'd say use them.
And our favorite. Scotch-Lokies.
Can you see the pain in my face?
He's twitching. Scotch-Loks are on a lot of trailers, under dashes. It's an easy way to add a wire to a circuit.
Oh, it's easy, all right.
They usually fail almost immediately when they get wet outside.
Yeah, zero water resistance here. And not only that, but vibration resistance. I mean, these things, when we have issues and people call us up and say, hey, I got an issue with this, and I look up and I see these things, we'll just keep it PG. But I kind of cringe and throw up a little in my mouth. But
quick, easy, dirty, very susceptible to corrosion over time, and we despise these things.
Yeah, and you'll see these in a lot of cheap kits. You get this kit and they come with the wiring harness, and they'll be filled with these, or T-locks, same deal. Oh, you just crimp them around the wire. The other issue is it damages both wires when it crimps. So you also have issues with wire breakage, which then can affect the performance. So
yeah,
we don't want that one. All right. So you see this on the internet all the time. I don't know, for some reason on the AI thing, these pop up. This is the one where you just put two wires in, you hit it with a heat gun, and it magically goes together. I don't like them. And I'll tell you why. Because there's no guarantee that these wires are actually fused together.
Yeah, how would you know?
How do you know? How do you even know that you got your wires in right? I mean, at least it's transparent. And, you know, because it's heat shrunk, you're going to have some water resistance. But I don't think from a reliability standpoint, there's a lot of unknowns here. What do you think, Curdy?
Yeah, there's better options.
Better options.
So we got a typical butt splice stake on crimp connector. Getting a little better for a butt splice. You might need a special crimper to crimp this together. A lot of wire strippers have one of these built into it. There could be more little special crimpers. as far as water resistance goes, there's not much with these, and I would say about 50% reliability. We'll call it halfway there.
Yeah, I mean they work, you know. And again, you'll see this. You know, they're easy to get. You can get them in any hardware store. You know, they're not unacceptable. But if you're looking to do a pro job, you're going to look at other options. Its cousin is we'll call it the crimp stake-on with the heat shrink. So this is similar to the other one. It's better. It's what I actually use in my Go kit because when you're on the road, you can't bring a lot of tools. And because it's got that mastic inside there, the water resistance is pretty decent. You know, appearance-wise, that's the other thing. A lot of these, you know, you're going to see red, blue, and yellow. And if you're trying to make something really nice and really sanitary, you know, you're trying to avoid the rainbow in your wiring. But there's nothing wrong with these. So I'd say as far as a mid-level, acceptable, but there's better stuff.
Next, we have a uninsulated crimp-on connector with heat shrink over it. Now we're getting somewhere, folks. Special tools you might need for this are, you know, crimpers and a torch.
Yep, and you'll see all that in the overlay up in one of these corners here. So some special tools.
As far as water resistance, this thing's awesome because the heat shrink has mastic in it. Very nice connection, quick, efficient, and reliable.
Yeah,
I like this.
Yeah, so when you're building, like when we're building harnesses, this is the approach we use because it's super clean, it's super compact, and you know you've got a solid connection. So this one here is a keeper. Mm-hmm. Next one is solder, and I'm sure I'll get tons of comments on this. Well, solder's better than crimp, crimp's better than solder. They're both good, bottom line.
Apples and oranges.
Apples and oranges. You know, in some cases when you have real small wires, you gotta solder. And there's other applications where that is your option. Good connection. Now this is assuming you're using the right techniques. If you're not tinning your wire, you're not getting good connections, you get cold solder joints, all that other stuff. You can see that on a bunch of YouTube videos.
It's a whole different world.
Whole different world. This is assuming you know what you're doing. And it's a great connection. The disadvantage is it's really hard to do in tight spaces. It is very, very time consuming. So if you're running a business wiring cars like I do, you would be spending, you know, probably another 40-50% labor time doing solder connections. There's nothing wrong with them, and there's a place for them. But again, compared to the speed and ease of use, this is definitely one that is used only when needed, but a keeper.
Now we have connections that you can take apart and put back together. This one's a insulated stake-on terminal, quick and, you know, somewhat efficient.
Cheap.
It's cheap, and the reliability of this, it's pretty okay. It's not a horrible connection, but there is better more, so we'll keep this one on the table. It's not a throwaway one.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is it's cheap, but doesn't lock, and it doesn't have any water resistance to it as well, but it is acceptable. Next one is what's known as the Packard style connector. So there's all these different connectors in this family. This is what's called a Packard 56. You'll see these on a lot of GM products, and it is a locking connector. So what you have is you have two crimp connections inside here and the lock. These are probably the most used connector that's out there for automotive use. And we use these all the time. The only disadvantage is that it's not waterproof. So if you're putting these in areas like under wheel wells, off-road vehicles, boats, I'd shy away from these. Cost wise, it's in the middle. It's going to be significantly more expensive than this guy, but less expensive than some of the other ones. But perfectly acceptable, great connection to use. Anything else on that one, Kurt?
You'll need the terminal and the connector, so it's kind of a two-piece system. So more parts, but a lot of aftermarket harnesses and obviously GM vehicles use.
Yeah, you'll see. Yeah, you'll see on like the more expensive harnesses out there. They'll come with these connectors. The cheaper harnesses will come with these connectors. And you'll see this, and some of the even top-end harnesses will use the last one that's on the list. And this is
Weatherpak.
Weatherpak. Now this is covering like Deutsch connectors as well. There's a bunch of them that are, we'll call these the top end of the connector family.
Expensive. These can get pricey. The water resistance on these though is, top notch. It's and it's a reliable connection. It gets costly with these. Sometimes you don't need to use these everywhere, but if it's a high probability of water, this is probably the best connector that you can use.
And the other thing on that too, Kurt, is that if this is a connector that you're going to be connecting and disconnecting a lot, that's a good connector to use because they're designed for doing that. The Packard ones are designed to be connected and disconnected occasionally, but they're much more difficult to do. Same thing with these guys here, these Stake-Ons. They're made to be connected, and if you need to remove it at some point, you can. But those are designed to be connected and disconnected. I wouldn't say, regularly, but if you need to do something often where it's an accessory that you're going to be plugging in and disconnecting, you want to go with this type of connector.
Now you will need a special crimper for the Weatherpak.
Special tools, yeah, definitely.
The specialty crimper for the terminal and the water seal on these. Great connection, very highly water resistant, and I think that's it.
That's it. So anyways, this goes through the gamut of connections. I guarantee you we've missed a bunch. These are just the more popular ones. Again, we're talking about permanent use, right? Again, if you're in the middle of nowhere and it's a blizzard, you do what you got to do to get home.
Tape, wire nut, whatever you need.
Whatever you got. But this is what you want. So if you're fixing something that you want to stay fixed and you want to do it once and do it right, then here's some advice that we have. So at that point, I hope you like the content. There's my buddy C10 Curt. You see it right there. And, give us a like, subscribe for more stuff, and keep the comments going. I'd like to see what you guys use on your cars and your systems. And you may have other ones that you really like. And if you're really passionate about one side or another, that's great. This is just coming from our experience, and we really appreciate all the support. And have a great day.